I've been a loyal reader of both Town and Country and Elle Decor for many years. I've always admired your stellar photography, curated articles, and advocacy for philanthropy.
Yes. The first editor's letter in 1846 set out Town and Country's mission, and the mission outlined in that editor's letter was that it was going to be a magazine that would instruct, refine, and amuse its readers. That mission is still our mission, but the trick is to take that timeless equation and make sure it is timely. And that has been such an important conversation that we have had since I started at Town and Country. I came to Town and Country as an editor in 2011, and I became editor-in-chief a few years later. But from the time I came to Town and Country, it was the challenge we put to ourselves. How do you take a magazine that is very much about things that have always mattered and make it clear to the readers why they matter even more so now?
Yes, it's timely and timeless, and it amuses. We have to have a little entertainment in our lives.
We really do. It's more of a sort of little wink or sometimes an arched eyebrow. It's not a guffaw. That kind of Town and Country humor makes the reader feel, when they sit down with the magazine, it is a wonderful conversation with a friend. And we have been around since 1846, and there is a very intimate connection between Town and Country and its readers.
Well, I think you're a real visionary, and I know that you're known for your future thing. Can you talk about the challenge of reading the room when creating content right now?
You have to be sensitive to, right now, how your colleagues are feeling. You need to be sensitive to sort of where the culture is, and you need to also be sensitive to what your brand is. That's the question we're all sort of facing now, where Town and Country and where Elle Decor can really make an impact culturally.
We've been talking about how art and design coalesce to meet essential human needs, but I was very intrigued by your statement. Beauty has actual value.
Yes, beauty changes the way you feel. It changes the way you live your life. Think about sort of someone brings you flowers or beautiful painting. When that goes up in your home, something immediately switches on. That is the power of it. Beauty can be dismissed as something that's lovely but not necessary. I don't think after this it ever will be dismissed again. One of the silver linings of this is we realize how important it is and how it has an actual effect on our physical and mental health. I really do think it is essential to civilization.
Definitely. I can't live without it.
No. There is inspiration all around us. This time is a challenge, but there are opportunities. Maybe you have to look a little harder sometimes, but I think there's something really interesting. If you look at history, after times of crisis, generally, we get some really great art, and we definitely get great jewelry.
Yes.
Definitely get great jewelry. So
your forthcoming book is titled Jewels That Made History. And ever since reading Jeweler, this beautiful tome, which is in our library, students, if you want to look at it. So my bookcase has been awaiting this new Stellene Volandes book. But how did you approach the research to author this definitive history?
This is not a history of jewelry, and it's not a history of the world. It is a look at when those forces collide. What fascinates me most is when culture really almost carves out the piece of jewelry. The tomb of Tutankhamun, it makes the news, and all these jewelers are suddenly crafting, turquoise scarabs or lapis sphinxes. Or if you look at Art Nouveau and realize how much the opening of Japan influenced that, that's when jewelry really becomes an artifact of a time. As much as I love to talk about the craftsmanship and stones, that collision between history and art, that's what the book outlines.
Historical, sociological, anthropological,
yes.
And personal identity too, of course.
Yes, absolutely. And when you look at the pieces that with all the uprisings and revolutions and, you know, moving back and forth across countries and continents, there are these pieces that survive. The great jewelry stories, they're full of romance, and it's like a great James Bond movie almost.
Absolutely, adventure.
Yes.
And I wonder what previous era or decade has the most to teach us about jewelry, do you think?
In the 19th century, and I would say the early 20th century, you get such a distinct shift in styles and in materials. As the world opens, the palette of a jeweler's collection totally changes. These carved stones, because this traveled to India, wars happen and diamond supplies are cut off. So suddenly, sort of in the 1940s, platinum starts getting used as a war material. So suddenly you have yellow gold and you have citrines from South America. I would say between like 1840 and the 1940s, you really see how travel and conflict and the opening and closing of borders really impacts a jeweler's imagination and what's available to them. There was a lot of creating opportunity out of crisis. I think we can all really learn from that.
Absolutely.
Okay.
And leading the Q&A will be SCAD jewelry major Emma Campbell. Hi, Emma.
Hello.
Hi.
I'd like to ask you, with so many new jewelry brands coming into the market, what markers do you use to identify a brand that has what it takes to last and become a new timeless brand?
Jewel to really make an impression on me. If you put it on a tray, I would want to be able to identify it as yours. So having a strong signature and a clear point of view. Nothing makes me more unimpressed than an imitation of something that already exists. I'd rather see someone taking a real chance on something new and really think about what is your signature. So is it a material? Is it a technique? Is it a motif? What is specifically yours? And how are you going to express that? In order to break through, you need to make sure you have a strong story.
Is Elle decor seeing a shift in the way people value or think about interior design due to the prevalence of working from home?
Elle decor has always been about the best design around the world. And this experience, for better or for worse, has been a unified global experience. That experience is very much that home has never been more important. You know, I say what has happened is our home now has to be all things to us. It has to be our favorite restaurant. It has to be our theater. It has to be our favorite hotel. It needs to perform so many things. And so we realize the potential in all our homes, and that will impact design.
Thank you very much, Stellene, for your time and this incredible opportunity to hear from you.
I look forward to seeing you again, Stellene. Thank you. And thank you, Emma. Great job.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
And good luck. Good luck with
Thank
everything.
you. You
Bye.
too.
Fantastic.